Hello comrades, this is the first episode of our series on logical fallacies. In this series, we will delve into the types of logical fallacies and will try to understand them with real-world examples. With the knowledge of logical fallacies, you can easily detect a flawed argument and counter them. They are best applied in debates as well as countering common narratives or myths. So let's start with the definition of logical fallacy. What we mean by this is that when someone gives an argument which might sound convincing but are actually flawed, it means it ignores the logical counter and jumps to a conclusion which can be debunked. Later in this video, we will understand more about what we mean by this. So there are two types of logical fallacies in theory. Informal logical fallacies. These occur when there is a mistake in the details of a statement only. Or we can say, an informal logical fallacy occurs when there is an error in the content of the argument. We will use a type of informal logical fallacy called Ad-Hominem as an example, which is something we come across quite often. So, what is Ad-Hominem logical fallacy? The Ad-Hominem is a logical fallacy associated with trying to undermine opponent's argument by personal attacks. Through attacking their character or skill level, the ad hominem attack uses an accepted fact about a person to undermine their credibility despite the lack of causal connection between two arguments. It is an informal logical fallacy because there is an error in the content of the argument, trying to shift the topic by insulting. Now we won't give you the details on how it came into existence. If you're a philosophy student, then you probably know about this. But for the people interested, we will give links in the description. Coming back to the topic, ad hominem fallacy is often used as a diversion tactic to shift the attention to an unrelated point, like person's character or motives, and avoid addressing the actual issue. So let's understand this with an example.
जिसकी जात का पता नहीं, वो गन्ना की बात करता है.
Now in this video, many unparliamentary words were hurled after the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, who argued for a countrywide caste census through which data could be gathered and analyzed to help the opposition in demanding rights for downtrodden communities and help the incumbent Modi government to implement social welfare schemes more efficiently. It's a legitimate demand, but it seems that the BJP, which had problems with caste census, had their spokesperson, a union minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur from Hamirpur, Himachal, attack the opponent with personal remarks, rather argue cordially. This is a good example to understand this fallacy and how we may come across such arguments in our daily life, perhaps by a tea stall or a classroom. But after watching this video, we'll hope you'll counter it logically.